What's going on, y'all? It's another day on the Day One podcast. I'm your co-host, Anthony. I got my co-host, Kyle. Say what's up. What's happening, y'all? What's going on, y'all? It's another day on the Day One podcast. I'm your co-host, Anthony. I got my co-host, Kyle. Say what's up.
What's happening, y'all?
Hey, before we get into it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. It is a free $99. Don't cost you a thing. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. We're locked in for the NFL season. Preseason right around the corner. Banner drop for my Eagles right around the corner. Could not be a better time to be a football fan and a sports fan. So hit the like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We got us a video, not a pod, not a live, but a recorded video about one of the biggest news articles in the NFL right now. The turmoil between Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys is coming to a head. Micah requested a trade, and now Jerry Jones says, I'm not honoring that trade request. You ain't going nowhere. It's getting ugly in Dallas.
Yeah, dude, it's not looking pretty. We'll see what they end up doing, because like, how often is it that a player requests a trade in training camp and actually gets moved right away? We'll see. I mean, Micah Parsons could really make this as ugly as he wants it to get. And honestly, like, it won't really matter because he's such a great talent that someone will pay him and someone will move the assets for him. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens over these next couple of weeks. We've already seen some players on the Cowboys organization pissed off. CeeDee Lamb tweeted out, "Just pay the man. Let's get this shit over with," which is pretty big considering he's probably your best player on the team, if not Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. That's leadership right there, and trying to, calm everyone down in the room. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's a little grim over there in Dallas.
Yeah, it's been grim for the last 30 years, and you know what? Keep it that way. Keep Jerry Jones around for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, yeah. So the biggest problem right now, it's based off contract, right? So I have a bunch of contracts pulled up here. This is every edge rusher in the NFL, their average salary. The length of the contract probably doesn't matter too much because he's going to get 4 years regardless, I'd say. But if we're looking at some of these contracts here, it breaks it down, like when they signed it, what their average salary is. So if it's me, I don't know how you feel, but like, if we're looking at tiers of edge rushers, to me, it's TJ Watt and Myles Garrett above everyone else. The next tier is probably Nick Bosa, Max Crosby, and Micah Parsons. That's probably like the next group. Mm-hmm. So Micah Parsons is 26. He's turning 27 here this coming month, I believe. But either way, he's turning 27. Nick Bosa signed his deal for $34 million at 25. Max Crosby signed his at 27. So to me, the minimum of what he should get paid is 36. Right?
Yeah.
Based off of how the market goes, his talent level, is he as good as Max Crosby or Nick Bosa? Some games, yes. Some games, no. Depends on what you want. But that's the starting point, 36.
Yeah.
So the question is, we don't 100%. Do we know what he's asking for?
He wants to be the highest paid at the position. So he's looking at being paid more than TJ Watt, and that starting point is $41 million.
Right.
So if I had to guess, the number's probably going to be like
42,
43.
Right.
45. So, you never know, but
right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes guys take a jump. I mean, look at the jump from Max Crosby to Garrett. Because the Neil Hunter contract got signed after Myles Garrett, I believe. So, so my thought is, you sign TJ Watt and Myles Garrett at the age of 30 and 29. Micah Parsons is 2 or more years younger. That's his argument right there to get paid 42. That's his argument, because it's not a huge drop off from those guys. They're clearly better and more consistent, but it's not like there's a huge drop off. So he's got an argument to be like, hey, I deserve 42.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, if you're top 5 to 7 in your position, you're going to reset the market. That's usually just how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality of Micah, and really all of Dallas. When their big stars are up for contracts, they usually do reset the market for that position. You think like Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
However that played out, if it was me, I would have played it much differently. But nonetheless, he got his deal, $60 million, reset the market. CeeDee Lamb, he got his deal, reset the market, and then Jamar Chase shortly after reset it. So they will reset the Trayvon Diggs at the time.
Yep.
At the market. So this is what Dallas does.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? No, I don't think so.
It's maintainable if you do it once, maybe twice on your roster. Like, that's the most you get to be able to, like, build an actual contender around it. Like, my thought is, like, one, it's not necessarily just a Dallas problem, because pretty much every team minus a couple, including the Eagles, don't do it. Every team minus a few do that. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, because that's, salary cap goes up, salaries should go up. It makes sense. And it's not necessarily on the players either. If the culture is, if you perform in your top of your position, you get paid the most. Of course, Micah's going to want 42. Of course, CeeDee's going to want 35. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. Of course, Dak's going to want 60. If that's what Jerry Jones has shown he does for the last 30 years, I get the frustration from Micah Parsons' perspective. Like, do you want to help your team win? Yeah, but, like, it's weird. We could say a lot about what we think players should do from our couches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, it's fair. Like, it's not like
he has a legit argument. I mean, you've seen every single major star on the team: Dak, CeeDee, Trayvon Diggs. They Zach Martin and some of the offensive linemen when they were there. They get paid top of the market for their position. And here's Micah Parsons, who just so happens to be up for a contract extension, and he's like, "Where's my top of the market deal?"
Yeah. Now, if Micah Parsons were the best safety in football, I'd be like, I'm not paying you top of the market. I can't do it. But he's arguably the third most valuable position on the field. Quarterback, tackle, edge. Those are the three.
Yep. Yeah, it pays to have that pass rush in this league, and Micah Parsons is definitely that. Yeah. But at the same time, like, does Jerry have a point, though? Like, he's given these contracts out to all these stars. Yeah. What does he have to show for it? They're injured. They don't perform how, the expectations of the deal say they should. Jerry's frustrated. Oh, and rightfully so.
Right. He should be, too. And that's the thing. Like, I don't feel any sympathy for him, because, like, you would have figured this out 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, like everyone's been telling you 20 years ago. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, the Dak contract, you name it. So, like, at this point, I mean, arguably, Micah Parsons is one of the best players they've had in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of how good they are compared to the rest of their position, he's better than Dez. He's just as good as Zach Martin. He's just as good as CeeDee Lamb, like all these players. Tyron Smith in his prime. Like, there's a lot of guys that they've had, but he's up there in that class. And it's also not so much that he's not getting the money. It's that Dallas waits and they wait and they wait and they continue to irritate their player until giving them everything they want. If Jerry Jones is frustrated with giving out the deal, he shouldn't be frustrated with giving out the deal. He should be frustrated with wasting time. Dak could have been locked up for $50 million, maybe less. Seeds could have been locked up for 30 or less. Like, there's a lot of things that he could have done better outside of just giving the top dollar.
Yeah.
Guys, just and quick.
Yeah. It's just bad business on Jerry Jones' part. It's just what they do. And it's, as a fan of a team in the Eagles that gets shit done ahead of the curve, it's frustrating to see time after time after time. You have these things coming up. Obviously, the market's going to get reset when all the big name guys at the position are going to get paid, get ahead of it. And Micah Parsons said that. He was like, last year I wanted to get something done.
Yep.
They said no. I was like, all right, I'll play out my deal. This offseason comes around. He's like, let's get something done. Myles Garrett's going to reset the market. I want to get locked in so we have some cheese to build the rest of the team.
Right.
Total team player, total leader. But
right.
It's just that bad business that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have been doing forever that they just, it's almost like they can't get out of their own way.
Right. I 100% agree. And you look at, and this is just to give you an idea here. So this is a tab on some of their struggles that they've had in the past. Let me fix that. This is happening consistently. So if you look here, the Zeke holdout, we all remember that. He wouldn't get his deal, and they finally paid him way too much, a couple years too late, and that deal backfired on him. Now, if they would have paid him 4 years, top dollar, 2 years before that, his deal would have been worth it.
Yep.
But by the time they ended up getting him locked up for as long as they did, they overpaid, and he went off a cliff. Yeah. Dak, obviously, getting the $60 million a year deal. This is the one with his franchise tag before this last deal.
Yeah. He got tagged, what, twice?
Twice, whereas they could have probably paid him $35 million, 5 less a year, 2 years earlier.
Yep.
Now, in hindsight's 2020, like if you pay a guy later, he's more likely to be way down, like in terms of average per year compared to the rest of the class later on. But like it still affects the pocket. So like,
yeah, get out ahead of it because he's like for Jalen Hurts, for example, we locked him up after 2022, $50 million. He's not even in the top 10 of highest paid quarterbacks now.
Right. Pat Mahomes is $15 million under the market.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Like here's another example. DeMarcus Lawrence they tagged him twice, signed him to 5 years, 105. That could have been 5 years, 90, 85 at the time if they instead of tagging him. And DeMarcus Lawrence at the time was a top the end in the league.
Yeah,
he wasn't necessarily the greatest pass rusher, but when you look at the whole thing, like great. Dez Bryant, Messi extension and declining, like all this stuff here, 5 years, 70.
Yep.
That was gross. Amari Cooper's fallout. Yep. Tony Pollard's franchise tag, and then they let him walk.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that they've just done wrong that just they don't know how to do good business. Jerry Jones is the guy that goes to a Walmart and like yells at the manager to get him a cashier because he doesn't want to do self-checkout.
Yeah.
There's no innovation, no trying new things in these contracts. Like he doesn't want to get out of his own way. And I guess when you're 110 years old running an NFL team and you won a Super Bowl 30 years ago, you're like, well, if I did it then, I can do it now. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I can do it the same way I did it 25 years ago when there wasn't a salary cap. I just buy all the free agents from everybody. You're seeing that in the NIL now.
Right.
These teams are just buying college talent.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL isn't structured that way. You got to be creative with the salary cap. And, Jerry just has to get with the times. And
I agree.
He just hasn't shown that he's going to do that.
No, he hasn't. So do you think that they're going to get a deal done, or do you think he's gone?
I think eventually they will get a deal done. This usually does happen where like their star's disgruntled, they hold out. I don't know how Micah Parsons, how ugly he's going to make it. But I think it's more likely that they will eventually come to a deal because he said that he wants to be on this team. But we saw this offseason, Myles Garrett requested a trade. The Browns said no, and then they ended up paying him top of the market.
Yeah.
I can see something similar happening with Micah Parsons just because Jerry's like, we're not getting rid of him. But if he pulls like a Hassan Reddick, then I can see it happening.
Yeah. So the reason I think he's probably going to get traded, whether it's now or at the deadline, is because it's a little bit different than normal contract negotiations. Like they're really like in his post that he made when he requested out, he made a lot of like accusations about like how they were skipping over his agent and like all these types of things. Like it seems a lot messy than just a normal contract. Like it's not like they can't get on the same page. It's like I feel like Dallas is just doing everything wrong in this situation. That I don't know if this is a relationship you can repair. Because Myles Garrett never really came out and said, I have a problem with Andrew Berry.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not getting the money I deserve, so I'll get it elsewhere. And then they were like, all right.
To you.
You know what I mean? Jerry Jones very well could do that, but it kind of seems like that relationship's not good anymore.
Yeah, the bridge is burning on Micah and the Cowboys.
Right. And that's the thing, too. Jerry Jones pays the guys that he loves. And if that bridge is starting to burn, Jerry's not going to want to pay him even more. That's where my head's going to. But if they get it done quick, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you have some scenarios. In the case that they don't get it done and Jerry decides to ship him out, like what are some of the best options to get packages for Micah Parsons?
So I actually got some packages pulled up. So let's go with this here. Okay. This is the obvious one that everyone I've seen has been comparing on Twitter and stuff like that. The Khalil Mack trade. He was 20, I believe he was 27 at the time.
Yep.
So this is probably what the package is going to have to be. So it was Bears. Bears got Khalil Mack, a second-round pick, and a fifth. The Raiders got a first-round pick in 19, 20, a third and 20, and a sixth and 19. If it were me, if we're looking at player just for picks, it's probably Micah Parsons, 2 firsts and like a fourth. Micah Parsons for 2 firsts and a fourth, probably.
Yeah.
If you get rid of the extra shit, like the second round pick with Khalil Mack and all that.
Right.
That's probably
player straight up for picks.
Yeah.
They'll probably throw in like a second or third, a conditional fifth.
Something like that.
So you'll have some fluff picks in there, but yeah, the chassis of that deal has to be Micah Parsons and 2 firsts.
Yeah, it has to. I don't know if Micah Parsons is to the level that Khalil Mack was at that time.
Yeah,
but he could be. Like he's young. He's not in the prime of his career yet. Khalil Mack has had 5 great years since that trade.
Yeah, I feel like Khalil Mack is better in coverage than Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they are the best up at the top of their position, so they're going to get a big package.
Yeah. This is the Von Miller trade to the Rams. He was kind of older at this time, but they still got a second and a third.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a decent amount of money. Bradley Chubb, lesser player, but they got a first and a fourth. So like, and another player. Not that Chase Edmonds is worth a damn, but like it's gonna be a first round pick. Frank Clark, for 2019, first round pick, second round pick, a swap of thirds. It's gonna be a lot of money. But if I had to go with anything, I would say it's probably going to be 2 firsts. So let's see. I believe this is my next. I'm just pulling up my next tab here. Dun, 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 dun. Make sure I got the right one. All right. So these are the needy. I pulled up like a tab that's got like needy edge teams. So yeah, that's the one. Perfect. So teams that need an edge rusher the most, based off of what ChatGPT thinks. It might not be what we think. It's just, it's getting a list at least. So the Chargers are sure as hell one of them.
Yep.
They have who?
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, the ghost of Khalil Mack. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Finished bottom 5 in sacks in 2024 with Joey Bosa, and now they lose him. So yeah, the Chargers are a good one. Plus, they're probably in a win now type mode. Justin Herbert is, they still need to make a couple moves. They have a few holes on that roster, but they played really well last year. Harbaugh being there is a big difference, I think. And Justin Herbert might take a step. We'll see what's going on there. But they weren't as bad as their roster was last year, and they've made some improvements. Right. So that's a good team. The Cardinals is another good one, even though they're probably not going to be competing for a playoff spot, if I had to guess.
They're an interesting team. They might be in the mix for a wild card spot. They did sign Josh Sweat
Yeah.
in the offseason, so they definitely have a guy there and some
Hmm.
young guys. Um, I think that Cardinals are probably unlikely,
Yeah.
but that would be an interesting one. Josh Sweat and Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that could be fun. Um, they're I just don't know if they're there yet. Like their competition is going to be the Niners. It's not going to be the Rams. I think the Rams are winning 12, 13 games. They're not going to win that many. They're going to be competing for a wild card spot for sure.
Yeah.
Chicago, of course, they've been making a lot of moves over the last couple of years. You bring Caleb Williams; he's still on his rookie deal, so this could be a good landing spot.
Yeah, and
They've done it before.
another Sweat, Montez Sweat.
Right. They realistically could do it. They've done it before because they're the ones that traded for Khalil Mack. So now did that turn out the way they wanted it to? Probably not. They got what they traded for out of Khalil Mack, but what they expected out of the rest of the team, probably not.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. So Falcons, that's another team, but I don't think they're in the place to compete.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Denver's interesting.
Yeah, Denver is an interesting team.
Yeah. Baron Browning's nice. They just locked up Zach Allen for the future. But Zach Allen's not really a pass rusher. He's more of like a hybrid, pass rusher, run defender. Yeah. Randy Gregory's gone. Not that he was any good there. They signed him he got what? Like 5 years, $100 million when he signed with the Broncos? Didn't he get a shit ton of money? Yeah, that was ridiculous. This defense is already going to be great.
But if you add Micah Parsons to it, it'll probably be top 5.
Right. And they don't really have anyone on that roster except for Pat Surtain making top dollar. So they could probably afford it. They've got Bo Nix on a rookie deal. Cortland Sutton is their one who's a worthy one, and he's not getting paid that much money. They really could make a run at Micah Parsons. They could beat the Chiefs for the division if they traded for Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Like this team is.
It would definitely put them up in that top AFC conversation, barring what we see from year 2 Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But that's another fun team, Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Commanders are another one.
Yeah.
But they probably won't trade in division.
They got enough shit going on right now. I don't think they're going to be looking. Although it would fill a big need for them. They did sign Von Miller.
Yeah. That's not.
So that would be cool. But again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And whatever they think Minnesota's going to do, because I actually like Minnesota's roster as a whole, but they need help on the edge big time. They lost to Neil Hunter. But yeah, that would be another
Bernard who's nice, but
yeah, Jonathan Grenard's cool. He led the league in sacks, was top 3 2 years ago? Last year? Maybe last year. I don't know. Let's see. Indianapolis, that's, Kwity Paye hasn't really turned out to what they thought he was going to be out of the first round. But they're probably not in position to compete. They can't figure out their quarterback. The Panthers is fun.
Yeah.
That's another fun team. The Brian Burns void. My only issue with the Panthers is you just had Brian Burns.
Right.
And you didn't want to pay him, so you got rid of him.
And now you're going to bring in Micah Parsons and pay him.
They probably also didn't think, they thought at the time that Bryce Young wasn't going to work. So, and then, you look at the back half of last year, they could be back into the buying market. Yeah. Which I would be, but
yeah, we'll see. They're definitely, I'd say they're probably on the bottom of that list. I mean, obviously they're number 10 here, but they are probably not going to trade for him, if I had to guess.
Probably not.
Why the betting odds have the Eagles as the second highest to trade for Micah Parsons is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Micah wants to be there.
I know, but we cannot swing that. It just doesn't. Here's the thing, as an Eagles fan, and I'll give you my take on the whole Micah Parsons thing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like Madden, freaking-tastic. If you want to come over here, come over here. But he wants top of the market. We have a timeline with these young guys on defense that we are, The defense is young. They're under contract, under rookie contracts. That way we can keep the offense under contract and together. But now we're going to trade for a guy and pay him $40 million and ruin the whole timeline. Doesn't make sense. We have a tried and true formula that won us the Super Bowl last year. Why are we going to deviate from that?
Is there any bad contracts on your team?
Any bad contracts on our team? I don't think so.
If it were me, hear me out.
Bryce Huff last year was a bad contract. We got rid of him.
Right. If it were me, I would look at your offensive line and think, who can I stomach losing to bring in Micah Parsons? Because you guys turn and burn new offensive linemen every year, and they're always great.
Yeah.
If it were me and I was like,
contract till the thing is, the offensive line is under contract.
See ya. Bye, Landon Dickerson. Adios.
They are under contract, though.
Trade. See ya.
They're under contract. We're not trading an all-pro guard.
I'm just saying.
They're under contract. Our thing is offense is locked up. All pros everywhere. Defense, young, developing stars on rookie deals so that we can keep the window as open as humanly possible.
Micah is not what you need.
No, we don't. We have Nolan Smith, who broke out last year. Jalix Hunt broke out in the playoffs last year. We signed Josh Uche, Azeez Ojulari, like Micah Parsons. We're good over here.
Yeah, we're good.
So yeah, that's my take on it from the Eagles side, but we'll see. It's gonna come to a head here shortly.
Yeah, it's gonna. If I had to make a prediction right now, I would say he probably gets traded somewhere around week 2, week 3.
If I had to make a prediction, I'd say he probably gets a deal with Dallas.
Okay.
Highest paid $43.5 million average annual salary.
Yep. Insane. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, that's our take on the Micah Parsons trade request. We'll see what ends up happening here in the next couple of weeks into the season. Nothing but some Dallas drama leading into the season, so we know that they're not going to make the playoffs and their minds are not in the right place. I'm sure it feels good for you, so I'm very happy that you get to see that. If only that could happen. If only Stephon Diggs was still on the Bills, I feel a lot better about the Jets' chances. But anyways, guys, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Whether you're on a boat, bus, or plane, you can get the Day One podcast content anywhere in the world. So go down to your local Sprint Mobile, get their cheap 4 for $100 package, get yourself a nice little shitty-ass Samsung track phone, and watch the Day One podcast. We appreciate y'all for listening. I'm Kyle. That's Anthony. See y'all later.
Peace.